When it comes to managing our weight, the choices we make in our daily diet can have a profound impact. Eating the right foods, packed with nutrients and devoid of empty calories, can contribute to maintaining a healthy weight and overall well-being. Over the past few decades, genetic modification has been employed to enhance the yield, durability, and quality of many food products. While genetically modified organisms have had substantial benefits in improving global food security, there is some controversy over their potential health implications. Today, we'll be diving deep into the subject of GMO foods that may not be the best choice for those looking to lose weight. But before we continue, if you appreciate all the information and the research that goes into making a video like this, it does help out tremendously if you hit the like button and hit subscribe. Thank you, and let's begin. One such GMO food that's commonly found in our kitchens is corn. Almost 92% of corn produced in the US, according to a 2020 USDA report, is genetically modified to be resistant to herbicides and pests. While corn itself is not inherently bad for weight loss, the GMO version is often used in processed foods that can contribute to weight gain. A study published in PLOS One in 2015 found a significant correlation between GMO corn consumption, processed foods, and obesity rates in the United States. Processed foods made from GMO corn, like high-fructose corn syrup, corn chips, and corn-based cereals, often contain excessive amounts of sugar and unhealthy fats. These empty calories can quickly lead to overeating and weight gain. Similarly, soybeans, another extensively genetically modified crop, aren't inherently harmful to weight loss. However, the problem arises from the soybeans' role in the production of processed foods. According to a study from the Journal of Food Science and Technology in 2016, more than 90% of soy grown in the US is genetically modified to be herbicide resistant. This soy is frequently used in the production of soybean oil, a popular ingredient in many processed and fast foods. A 2015 study in the journal PLOS One showed that soybean oil could cause more obesity and diabetes than fructose. This study was conducted on mice, so while it doesn't directly translate to humans, it does raise questions about the potential impact of GMO soybean oil on our weight. Sugar beets, which are modified to withstand powerful herbicides, comprise a significant proportion of GMO crops. According to the USDA, 100% of sugar beets grown in the US were genetically modified as of 2019. Processed sugar from GMO sugar beets is virtually identical to sugar derived from non-GMO sources. However, it contributes to the same problems of excessive sugar consumption linked to obesity. A study in JAMA Internal Medicine in 2014 found a significant relationship between added sugar intake and increased risk for cardiovascular disease mortality. Canola oil, derived from genetically modified rapeseed, is another ingredient to look out for. Approximately 90% of US canola crops are genetically modified, according to a 2020 report by the USDA. Canola oil is low in saturated fats and can be part of a healthy diet when consumed in moderation. However, like soybean oil, it is often used in processed foods and fast foods, which can contribute to excessive calorie intake and weight gain. The connection between fast food consumption and obesity has been well documented in numerous studies, such as a 2013 research review published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Now let's talk about the most controversial GMO food in the context of weight loss: genetically modified wheat. Genetically modified wheat is not commercially grown. There have been extensive studies and debates over its potential implications. Wheat is a staple food for a large proportion of the global population, and any genetic modifications to its structure could have wide-reaching implications. One of the critical concerns about GM wheat is the potential for increased gluten content. Gluten is a protein that can cause digestive issues for those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. But for others, a high-gluten diet might lead to inflammation and weight gain. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry in 2013 found that a diet high in wheat gluten can cause inflammation in the intestines and fatty tissue. While the study was conducted on mice and does not directly correlate to humans, its results raise questions about the implications of a high-gluten diet. The inflammatory response is thought to potentially contribute to the development of obesity and insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. While GMO wheat isn't on the market as of 2021, the idea of introducing it has been proposed to increase crop yields and enhance disease resistance. If this were to occur, we could see an even higher prevalence of wheat and gluten in our diets, potentially exacerbating the inflammation and weight issues associated with high gluten consumption. So, what's the worst GMO food for weight loss? Drumroll, please. It's actually a combination of all the GMO foods mentioned earlier, consumed as part of a diet high in processed foods. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2010 published a study that noted that processed foods contribute to overeating and weight gain due to their high levels of sugar, fat, and sodium. While the individual GMO foods are not necessarily bad for weight loss, their common use in processed food products often leads to excessive calorie intake and nutritional deficiencies. In a diet high in processed foods, the adverse effects of each of these individual GMO foods can add up to contribute to weight gain and poor health. While weight loss can be a potential risk associated with certain genetically modified organisms' foods, there are other concerns that have been raised regarding their consumption. Genetic modifications can introduce new proteins into food sources, potentially triggering allergic reactions in susceptible individuals. This is particularly concerning when genes from allergenic organisms are transferred into non-allergenic foods, making them allergenic as well. Some GMO crops are engineered with genes that confer resistance to antibiotics. There is concern that consumption of such crops could contribute to the development of antibiotic resistance in human pathogens, reducing the effectiveness of antibiotics in treating infections. GMO crops engineered to be resistant to pests or herbicides may result in increased use of pesticides or herbicides. This can lead to environmental concerns, such as the emergence of pesticide-resistant insects or the contamination of soil and water sources. GMO foods are a relatively recent development, and their long-term health effects on humans are still not fully understood. Some studies have suggested potential risks, including organ damage, immune system disorders, and changes in gut microbiota, although more research is needed to establish conclusive evidence. The cultivation of GMO crops can have unintended consequences for biodiversity. For example, the cross-pollination of GMO crops with wild relatives or non-GMO crops can lead to the spread of genetically modified traits in non-target species, potentially impacting natural ecosystems. In conclusion, while GMOs have been instrumental in increasing crop yields and improving food availability, their role in processed foods can contribute to unhealthy dietary habits and weight gain. Remember, the key to a healthy diet is balance and moderation. Incorporate plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins into your diet, while limiting your intake of processed foods. That way, you'll be better equipped to manage your weight and promote overall health.